Welcome to The Explainer. So today we are diving headfirst into a pretty radical new idea that might just flip everything we think we know about artificial intelligence. It argues the biggest problem holding AI back isn't what we think it is. Not even close.
You've seen this, right? We've got these incredible AIs that can write poetry, that can code software, and then out of nowhere they say something like this, with just complete and utter confidence. It's these bizarre, nonsensical errors that make them feel fundamentally broken.
So the big question is, why? Why do they fail in these weird, almost surreal ways? For years, the go-to answer has always been, just make them bigger, more data. But a really groundbreaking new theory says that's not the solution at all. The problem isn't a lack of power. It's something much, much deeper and totally invisible. Okay, let's really get into this. We're going to start by looking at what is really the central paradox of modern AI, this wild mix of incredible genius right alongside this baffling and sometimes, frankly, dangerous fragility. And we see these flaws pop up all the time. First off, you've got the infamous hallucinations, right? That's where the AI just literally invents facts out of thin air. Then there's what's called structural incoherence. A conversation starts off making perfect sense, and then it just completely loses the plot. And finally, there's semantic collapse, which is a little more subtle but super important. It's where the AI starts confusing concepts that are really similar but critically different, like, say, justice and revenge. And for a long time, the fix for all this was supposed to be simple. Just throw more data and more computing power at it. Scale it up.
But here's the thing, and this is the absolute core of this new theory. Scaling up a broken system doesn't fix it. No way. It just makes the system more convincing, more articulate about being wrong. The issue isn't the horsepower of the engine.
So if it's not power, what is it? Well, the real limitation is the very shape of the mathematical space where the AI actually thinks. It's a problem of geometry. It's kind of like trying to cram an entire sprawling forest into a tiny shoebox. Of course, all the ideas are going to get crushed and tangled up. So what on earth does it mean to be thinking in the wrong space? This brings us to a really cool idea called the geometric bottleneck. This right here is the key term, the geometric bottleneck. Think about it. Real knowledge isn't flat like a piece of paper, is it? It's hierarchical. It branches out. You have concepts nested inside other concepts. But right now, we're basically asking our AIs to draw that entire complex tree-like structure onto a single, flat, rigid map. Of course the structure is going to be lost. It's inevitable. So you have human knowledge, and really any complex information, which grows exponentially. It's like the branches of a tree, creating this rich, layered, beautiful structure. But then you have our current AIs, which try to map all of that complexity onto what's called a Euclidean space. Now, this is just the basic geometry we all learned back in school. A flat, grid-like map. On this map, things that are close are similar, and things that are far apart are different. It's simple, but it's totally rigid. It doesn't grow or expand. And here is the unavoidable result. When you try to force that tree-like structure of knowledge onto a flat page, what happens? Well, the branches start to overlap. Ideas that should be distinct get squashed together, and the whole map gets warped and distorted. This is a powerful explanation for why AIs hallucinate. Their internal map of reality is literally twisted because the paper it's drawn on is just the wrong shape. Okay, so if the problem is a matter of geometry, then the solution has to be geometric too. And this is where it gets really elegant. We don't need a bigger map. We need to change the shape of the map itself. So the big move is to go from these rigid, flat spaces to curved, what are called hyperbolic spaces. Now, unlike a flat map, these mathematical spaces actually expand. They create more and more room for information the deeper you go into them, which makes them absolutely perfect for holding that branching, tree-like knowledge without crushing it. It's like upgrading from a single sheet of paper to an infinitely expanding universe for your thoughts to live in. Now, this isn't just some small technical fix. It's a genuine paradigm shift. In fact, some researchers are comparing it to Einstein's revolution in physics. The idea here is that intelligence isn't just a calculation happening inside a space. It's a phenomenon that is actively being shaped by the geometry of its own environment. The space itself is actually part of the thought. Wild, right? So let's just put it all together right here. We start with the symptom that we can all see, right? These weird AI errors and hallucinations. The new diagnosis is the root cause, this geometric bottleneck. And the proposed cure?
to change the very fabric of the AI's mental world to a curved geometric space that can actually handle the complexity of reality. But hang on, because this goes even deeper than just giving AI a bigger box to think in. The truly profound part of this theory is that in the right kind of space, intelligence might not be something we have to painstakingly engineer. It might be something that just emerges, something that organizes itself.
See, in the right geometric space, a system can naturally maintain these three pillars of what you could call a coherent mind. You've got integration, which lets it build a stable memory. You've got coherence, which makes sure its thoughts are unified and don't contradict each other. And you've got differentiation, which allows it to think a rich variety of different thoughts. When these things fail, the system doesn't just get an answer wrong, it structurally collapses. It literally loses its mind.
And this right here might be the biggest idea of all. This theory proposes that true intelligence isn't something that's programmed line by line. It's something that emerges naturally when a system is just allowed to follow a principle of minimal effort, like water finding the easiest path down a mountain. In the right geometric space, being intelligent is simply the most stable, most energy-efficient state for the system to be in. So, what does a future built on this new kind of geometric intelligence actually look like? Well, the implications are absolutely massive, and that goes for both the good and the bad. So, in practice, this could all start unfolding over the next decade. In the short term, we could start seeing much more robust models that hallucinate way less. Then, in the medium term, this could unlock AI as a true partner in scientific discovery and give us reliable systems for really critical fields like medicine and law. And then long term, this could mean the end of the scale is everything arms race, leading to a new kind of stable, coherent, maybe even civilizational scale intelligence. But we have to be really, really clear-eyed about this. A technology that is powerful enough to organize intelligence on this scale is also powerful enough to organize people. The promise of reliable, coherent AI comes with the huge peril of deep cognitive manipulation and surveillance. A technology that can create stable systems could also theoretically be used to silently stamp out dissenting ideas. This power is completely symmetrical. And that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought to chew on. For years, we've been trying to fix AI's mistakes by just adding more and more power. But this new theory reframes the entire problem. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the flaws we've been seeing aren't really flaws of intelligence at all, but simply the natural, inevitable result of a mind trying to exist in a universe that is fundamentally the wrong shape.